Yes, yes. Y'all hear that? Yo, that music is courtesy of the hair producer here, Vince.
I was wondering who that
It's
was.
kind of knocking, right?
Yo, Vince. Respect.
I almost thought it was me for a second, but I was like, nah. My drums hit it a little harder than that, so that couldn't be my track. Well,
ladies, just a heads up. If you're dating a man in hip hop, especially if they are producers or just the artists overall, and they get in the same room together, it becomes this like, hey, yo, man, I got this. Oh, yeah, man, I got this. And then it becomes like this versus on spot.
On spot.
But hey, just a heads up.
Well, hold on. Let me introduce the show. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dakota Sampson. I go by The Dakota. And this is a new show that we're kicking off called In Tune. And today I have my lovely co-host here, Cheeba Cruz.
Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Cheeba Cruz. I'm happy to be here. Let's rap.
Okay, so what we're going to do today is I'm going to break down this track that I have with an artist who's supposed to be here, but he is not here. But I got all the tracks anyway, so
let's do it.
We can do it without him.
Let's chop a style. Let's just.
And in the meantime, I'm gonna be talking to you about a little bit about our background.
Oh,
now, I know Cheeba for a long time.
Oh man,
long time.
Whew.
And the crazy part is, not only did we go to middle school together, but years go by, and we both end up in New York together as well.
I felt like there should have been some claps there, like.
That's why we need that soundboard. We have some cheers and stuff like that, right? All right.
Yeah, we were jits. We were jits together in middle school. You know, acne and braces and rubber bands and the braces. Hey,
man, I forgot about that.
Hey, I totally rocked them.
Yes, you definitely did have the rubber bands and the braces. However, in middle school, I was a part of the band and the magnet. And all these years later, Cheeba, I never knew. Sometimes I refer to her as her middle school name, but we gonna talk.
Give it up my governance.
To her artist name. We actually, you didn't play any instruments in school, right?
Ooh,
or did you?
I did. So we went to Johnston Middle School here in Houston, Texas. It was a magnet school, right?
Now they call it Maryland.
Oh, you are right. I drove by not too long ago, and I was like, what? My hot things change. But no, one of my electives in middle school was the piano.
Mm-hmm.
So I was on a piano. Miss Volsey.
Okay, Miss Volsey.
I don't know if you remember her.
I don't remember her.
Okay.
I definitely didn't take piano in middle school.
You did?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay.
Mr. Green. I was in ensemble band.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the ensemble. So that was like the woodwinds, the percussion, everything in between, brass, all that. So I didn't know about the piano teacher.
Okay. Wow, because I feel like everybody did. But, you know, that was like a while ago. She was a very strict rule enforcer.
Like if you hit the wrong chorus,
wasn't everybody's favorite.
If you hit the wrong chorus, did she hit your knuckles with the ruler?
Something like that.
Okay.
Something like that.
Miss Voorhees?
We'll see.
I just think Voorhees when you say how scary this lady was. Okay.
Yeah, but she was my piano teacher. Wasn't my favorite, but absolutely appreciate the discipline, and that definitely helps with adulthood when you're adulting. But after middle school, I quit playing the piano. It was one of them things. Like I'm like, nah, this ain't it. She makes me hate this instrument.
Now here's the crazy thing. So middle school go by, all of high school go by, and me and Cheeba run into each other again in New York.
Bam.
Like 10 years later.
Yeah.
You remember that day?
I do. What you
remember about it?
Actually, I was heading to the studio. That's where I met Doc. Shout out Doc. Yeah. I was heading to the studio, to get in a booth with a couple of friends out of New York, out of Brooklyn. Shout out Clinton Hill, downtown BK. And guess who's at the switchboard? Like, guess who's there? Like, touching knobs. And I'm like, nah, that's not it. Like, ain't no way. Mind you, we haven't crossed paths at all since pretty much middle school. And yeah, you were there, you know.
And I recorded her too. I was actually the engineer
for that session. And then from there, we just reconnected, and here we are today. It just makes sense, you know. There's a reason why. What is it called? The 6 degrees of separation exists.
Right.
So it was meant to be. Even us being here today, in Houston.
Yeah, you know? Absolutely. But when did you start? Now that's when I started finding out. Well, before that, because we have a lot of mutual friends, and I knew you played the bass. At what point did you start picking up the bass and play?
I picked up the bass not shortly after moving to New York. I had a roommate, Daniel DeWitts. He played the bass. He played the bass, and you know, I would come home and there's like basses on the walls and like guitars, like just like that dreamy house of musicians. And so one day I just picked up the bass and I just started playing, and I took my skills from piano in correlation with just being able to play by ear, and here we are. Like, I'm still playing, still strumming, still learning, still wanting to collaborate.
And you too are a producer. So speaking, I mean, come on now. If you put together compositions, right? That is a form of production.
Okay. I'll take that.
So, you know, you might not arrange the whole thing, but if you playing the bass, that's like, wouldn't you say that's the backbone of any song, the bass line?
I have to agree with you. That's what I always say.
So if you can come up with a bass line, you can always have a use for a song. You always need it. Everybody need a dope bass line.
Yeah.
So have you started producing it? Hold on. And she raps as well. And she's a performer as well. So it's a
lot, man. It's a lot going on. But yeah, to answer your question, you're asking if I'm working on new projects as far as...
Yeah, what are you working on at this point?
At this point, definitely creating new content. Like, I have some tracks already ready to go, mixed and mastered, boom. Just waiting on the right timing and alignment with that. But yeah, I mean, I'm ready to just keep playing. For sure. I'm in a new city, so I get that we're in a pandemic. However, I'm definitely looking to connect with more musicians out here, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely go. You know what? I'm gonna have you on the next show, and we're gonna display some of the stuff that you have, and I want us to collab on something, like on the spot. Like, I want us to do something on the spot, and but today, you're gonna be like my second pair of ears for this track that I put together for this artist named Rosewood Snoop.
Rosewood Snoop. Talk to us about Rosewood Snoop.
How much longer we got before a commercial? Well, you know what? Okay, yeah, I could squeeze the story in. Me and Rosewood Snoop. I almost said this government. I know everybody about the government. Me and Rosewood Snoop. I used to work at downtown, this store called the Tipping Point. And it's still downtown, but it's not in the location it used to be on Main Street. Anyway, young dude, he was, I think, just graduating high school, and he was walking around downtown passing out his resumes. Randomly came into the store, and we started having a conversation about music. And I was like, hey, well, you know, it was be good for us to connect and stay connected and all that, but I'm moving to New York. And he said, nah, I'm moving to New York. And I was like, when you moving to New York? Come to find out, we both moved to New York the following fall because we both starting college out there.
Okay.
So I'm starting school, and he's I'm transferring into college and he's starting college his freshman year in New York. So it was almost like how you said,
6 degrees of separation. It's y'all supposed to meet.
We were supposed to meet. Supposed to stay connected. But this was the crazy part. We used to hang out a lot in New York, but we never did any music. Because every time I got ready to try to go to the studio, my school studio, the doors was locked. This was before, I had keys to it. So all those years go by, we've been knowing each other 10 plus years, and now since I've come back to Houston, we just now getting to where we supposed to be working on music. So that is a track that we gonna go over today.
Okay.
Now.
Okay. So wait a minute. Whoa. So once, when did y'all actually connect?
Back in Houston?
Back in Houston.
Well, we was always in connection. Like when I was still living in New York, he moved back probably about 2 years before I came back.
Okay. And then you came back.
And then I came back, but we was always talking
right.
during the time.
But I mean, like, why and when did y'all decide to have that conversation about collaborating? Like, finally.
We always talked about it, but I guess the distance made it. I mean, we work better when we in an environment together. So if I was to like send him tracks, he didn't really have nobody. He didn't have an engineer, and honestly speaking, I don't think he was as serious about it until I got here.
Gotcha.
Because once I got here, we record exclusively together, and any track he need, I give him a track if he needs it. So I just think I'm not trying to say I'm the reason, but I think him having that team around him that's always about keeping music for is keeping them.
And that's why I asked you, because sometimes, you have talent, you have a skill set, but it may take a certain energy, a certain crowd of people, or a certain support system, a new environment just to kind of get it moving.
Right.
So I can relate to that. I was in New York playing the bass and learning and whatever, but I feel like it wasn't until I got back to Houston where it was just like I have a different mentality. I have clarity, and I'm really actually ready to work now. Not ready, but I am. Like, I'm not gearing up. It's like, all right, let's go.
I'm not gonna lie. I do miss New York. I miss the hustle. Like, I miss the dirty smell in the air. Like, it's like you could smell the grind. The grind. Yeah.
Like, I feel you. I miss being hungry. Like, literally being hungry. Because it makes you go.
Dollar slices, literally. For days at a time.
I don't mean like the work grind, but it's like, no, literally being hungry, because that makes me want to go. I feel like when I fast, it's more than just a spiritual aspect. It makes me want to grind.
I definitely think I agree with you. Like, it's like when I was in New York, I had a hunger, and then it started to kind of like, I guess, die down because I was getting used to it. But since I came back to Houston, it's like my productivity like went up, especially in different areas where I wouldn't expect. But what we gonna do is we gonna take us a small little break.
All right.
Once again, I am Dakota, and this is my lovely co-host Cheeba Cruz. This is In Tune. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. Y'all stay tuned, and we'll be right back after these commercials.
Yeah.
The Natural Nation Network is really about taking control of your health physically, spiritually, emotionally, even intellectually, because there's so much out there in misinformation. There's a lot of people now that are suffering from all sorts of diseases that they really wouldn't have to suffer for if they had better information. And that's what we're here to do. Provide information that can save lives.
The mind and the body are totally connected.
Health can be really serious, and sometimes we just have to lighten it up a little bit while we're still providing substantive information.
And my sort of mantra on the salsa dance floor is kind of similar. I tell somebody, if you make a mistake twice, it becomes a move. Okay?
Tune into Natural Nation every Tuesday at 11 a.m. When people stop talking to each other, society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
We work our whole lives to support our families. With one accident or illness, it can all be gone in an instant. Now there's a smart, affordable way to protect your family. Go to findhealthbenefits.com and discover low-cost life insurance for as little as $2 per month. Add to that a tax-deferred annuity that can help you protect your assets and grow your money for retirement. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. A critical illness can strike without warning and wipe out your life savings. In fact, it's the #1 reason for bankruptcy. Find Health Benefits offers an affordable solution. Get up to $50,000 if you get cancer, stroke, or a heart attack, giving you the peace of mind to focus on getting better while the plan helps you to pay your bills and medical expenses. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. 66% of seniors spend more time shopping for cable TV than Medicare plans. Most say because it's just too confusing. Laws change every year. The wrong plan could cost you thousands and prevent you from seeing the doctors you want. Introducing findhealthbenefits.com. Save time, save money, see specialists without referrals. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094 for this informative brochure.
Society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
Yes, y'all. Welcome back to In Tune. Man, we just here bumping again to that track. It's a what? Hey, can you say it into your microphone, brother? We're gonna see if you in here.
We're vibing, Vince.
It's a vibe. Oh, I can hear myself. Look at that.
Hey, man, if it's one thing that you don't know about me, is that I'm audio engineer extraordinaire Ray.
I'm like the ugly, redheaded stepchild, man, because I got to hold my mic.
Yeah. I mean,
I ain't got no stand.
It got a stand right there.
Stand at?
Remember the stand?
Oh, I gotta get up and go get my stand.
What we doing is
you in the mix though. Welcome.
You in the mix.
You about to contribute.
See, I just be doing a little thing called audio engineering, so I be knowing how to patch things in last minute. And I told Vince, get your speaking voice on, because we was gonna do some talking. He act like he's surprised that mic working.
You're on the spot, son.
I had very little faith.
See,
I was not prepared for this to work.
Ladies and gentlemen, Vince don't know the person that he has here in this seat. He just don't know. I don't gloat about my years working off Broadway, running live sound. I don't gloat about that. I don't gloat about how the show must go on.
I dig. Hey,
I don't say
y'all one thing. Mariah just came in here with some food,
and it's smelling,
and I can
hella good.
Smell like some Korean fried chicken or something happened over there.
I got
some time on it.
You hear something? I got something playing. This what we gonna chop up today, y'all. Nuh-uh. It should be coming through. You don't hear nothing?
No.
My music. You have to unmute something. Maybe I just turn this down a little bit. Kind of loud. So yeah. What we gonna do is we gonna chop up like a little bit of.
Let's do it.
We're gonna chop up a little bit. So this is one of the tracks that I had, right? And I'm well, I don't even think that's the original. I think that's what I had turned it into. Either way.
No, that smells fun.
It does smell really good. Mariah, what you get?
I'm about to run downstairs after this. And some chicken, right? Kosher.
It does smell like fried chicken.
I know it's weird too.
He had this look in his face like, hold on, let me listen to that.
I thought I was waiting for you to do something.
Nah, I'm just turning you up some.
Alright.
You said you had this migraine, right?
Yeah, so I'm dealing with this migraine. And then I don't know, I started smelling the food and it started kind of going away a little bit. Let me get a few more hits of that.
You know, it was this study that I saw that it was something about FBI mind control stuff, and they had yeah, this supposed to be playing. This is a sample I'm just playing right now. I'm gonna start building everything around, but I'm just talking about it. Anyway, so yeah, if you take your mind off of it long enough, the migraine will go away. In so many words. Anyway, so this is the track that I was working on. I'm gonna start building around it a little bit. Alright, so once I do that, I kind of already have the vibe I'm going for now. So too hard. You can hear that? I could barely.
Yeah.
I could barely hear it now. But you know what? It's all good. How's the sound?
It's drowning out the mics. Yeah, I gotta peep the stream.
Tell me more while we get this sound right.
Tell you what? Tell you more what? What I just told you? I just told you. That was a statement. It wasn't a story. It wasn't a to be continued.
Mm-hmm.
That That was what it was.
We gonna turn it down on this end.
So this is the sample?
This is the sample. The first, initially started like this. That's initially how it started.
Did you play it already? That one?
This part of it, yeah.
Okay.
Then it's the second half of it. Now we move into the verse, yeah. But then we build around it like the Britney. This is what I would need you for the bass line. Next time we gonna come in with the bass line with you. Hopefully I'm not still drowned out. I hear myself a little better.
Yeah, but it's always gonna come through different in the headphones than it does on the stream. It's never the same. That's why I had to check the stream to see what it sound like.
Only if we had some people. How many people are tuned in right now to come back and tell us?
There's people saying, I don't know who Sylvester Parsons is, or Chad C.
Okay,
Shout out to
Chevelle
y'all.
and Chad, shout out to y'all.
Yeah, shout out. One time for the one time.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
What they say? I thought you said they said something.
They ain't saying anything, they just said they watching.
Oh, okay. Well, shout out to y'all. Alright, so by now we kind of got like a little vibe going. What, at this point in the track, what would you expect to hear next, Brittany? Cheeba.
Is it just a loop playing?
What do I expect to hear next?
It's like the loop in the bass line right now. Like, where would you go next in the track, Vince?
You talking about instrument wise?
Yeah.
Like, what's the next layer added on to
Yeah.
it? Okay. It's definitely building. You know what I mean? It has this suspense component to it. We're gonna throw some stins in there? Okay.
Got stins in here.
That adds the shoulder bop a little bit. You
Right.
know?
That's the bop. That's the bop.
I can't wait for the bass. I'll say that. It sounds like it's gonna be like explosive, like trunks rattling. Like this is in the 90s.
Yeah.
Houston in
It
the
seems like you have
90s.
like a crazy 808. That's what it would sound like. Like this build, it seems like it's built into like a crazy 808.
Let me ask you a question.
What's up?
Dakota. The Dakota. Who could you see rapping on this or singing or whatever?
Well, besides Rosewood Snoop, the current person that's rapping on it.
If it was like a remix, if you were to add another 16 on it, who would get that? Or who would you want to see on that? Vince, you can chime in too.
Yeah, Vince. Who you hear on it?
What'd you say?
No, it's asking, who could you see on this?
Who I could see on this? I could see a few people on this. I could see like FKA ASAP collab because they've done things like this in the same vein. I could see 2 Chainz and Janae on this. I could see a bunch of different people.
Okay.
Just based off what I hear, you know, like that hip hop, that R&B vibe.
Now
like
that you went there, Dakota, I'm seeing a rap artist with high energy at a live show with a live band. Like bringing some kind of rock components to it. Like that, with that snare there.
Yeah, because it's live. Yeah. I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
And it gets wild. It kind of starts a mosh pit in the crowd, and drinks are flying everywhere. You know, it brings that fun component to it.
Yeah, I'll definitely see this performed live. Like that's kind of like the vibe I got from it. Well, at this point, like by the time I got to this point in track, that's kind of like really like the meat and potatoes of it. It's like it's the bass, it's the drums, it's the sample, and that's cool. Like right now it's cool, but you kind of gotta really add other layers to it.
Let me ask you. do you consider yourself a perfectionist as a producer? Because you're adding layers, and sometimes it's too much. Sometimes simplicity is best. You know.
I really try to keep it tasteful, so that's why I just threw in like these light leads right here, like just a little bit of something, and then like some bells. It's like ear candy, because I try not to do too much. So all I did like right here was I just layered the bells with the lead, and just kind of let the rest, because you want to get an artist room to do something with. And
before you added the stems and kind of like built it up like that, it reminded me. I know I threw out the word suspense, but it sounded like you were. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the name, like the actual term for it. When you're creating music for a film, for a movie.
Oh yeah, it's like a
scoring.
Scoring.
Yeah. Scoring. Kind of like this, like suspenseful thriller.
You know
Maybe
what?
That night we're in the woods, like something's about to pop off.
Ideally, while we on that, because we talk about voiceovers all the time, y'all. Cheeba is actually one of the female vocal artists.
In that thing.
What's that?
What's that?
Oh, it's loud again? Kill it. Does that mean turn it down? What does kill it mean?
What does kill it mean? Kill it. When you kill something, it ceases to live.
So you said kill it?
Yeah.
Damn it. We're done. Because it could have meant like go in.
We don't know what he mean. I think that's his way of saying that it's a commercial break.
Nah, I was and it's a shame because this is live. I was just saying kill it, like kill the music. I thought we were all on the same page. I apologize.
That's all right though. We killed it, and the music it's been killed.
See, Mariah, she knew what I meant.
Thank you. You heard that, right?
We are
Thank you.
Split.
The only
this
person.
Is the thing about
this is America.
Slang.
Thank you, Mariah.
This is the thing about slang, and this is why our parents told us growing up, "Hey, you don't speak or text in slang because then you eventually talk like that when you're in a professional setting like this." There are certain terminology.
Did you say professional?
Right? Professional. It could be chill, but it's still professional, right?
Where?
Yeah. Speaking of professionalism, I wonder if. You know what? I'm not gonna say that.
What? Speak your mind.
I mean,
speak your mind. Like one.
That kind of.
It's Edge Radio, my friend. Where truth still matters.
People kind of hit up.
Powerful talk, right? That's Edge Radio TV.
I just feel like you had that professionalism because of recent events. I could be wrong.
He's talking events.
Are you talking to me?
I'm going to assume.
Maybe too soon. No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to myself.
What are we talking about?
Nothing. This is Edge
Mental
Radio.
health, y'all.
This is Edge Radio. And how much longer now?
Stay up on it.
Oh. Well, look here, y'all. So, when I come back, we already just did like a breakdown of the beat. We talked about scoring, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And that's actually something I really do want to get involved with. And that kind of ties into like the voiceover work that I've been doing lately and that I have been including you on. Mm-hmm. And it's been working out really well. But we'll get more into this track and then into our other goals and aspirations when we come back after these commercial breaks. All right, y'all?
Tired of not getting what you want in bed?
Are you ready to spice things up behind those closed doors?
Woo! We're here for you every hump day at 7 p.m.
This is Sex on the Edge with Jen and Hen. I'm Jennifer Reeves.
And I'm Hendrik Scott, and we are professional licensed sex therapists.
So remember to watch us Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Edge Radio TV, just in time for sexy time.
Are you a small business owner concerned about the downturn in the economy? Top business leaders like Mattress Mac and Warren Buffett will tell you that now is the time to promote your business more than ever. People need your services. Your business needs an edge. Learn about special advertising packages for small businesses right here on Edge Radio. Find out more, give us a call at 281-744-0446. That's 281-744-0446. Edge, because truth still matters.
Welcome back to In Tune. I am your host, the Dakota, also known as Dakota Sampson, and I have my lovely co-host here, Cheeba Cruz.
Howdy.
And she has come in such in clutch. I did tell her today.
Clutch City, though, right?
Clutch City,
on,
exactly. She was the first person here, the earliest person here, even showed up before the scheduled time, and you know, she's just an all-star like that. So really, like, we have a few more minutes, and yes, that's where we left off last with scoring. And that kind of led me into like yes, that is one of my aspirations, to really kind of get into scoring. I kind of don't like really messing with artists like that, like, you know, doing tracks for artists. It's cool and all that, however it's always an issue. It's like going from the struggling artist to the established artist, and it's always like those layers in between. And I rather deal with scoring or cue music than deal with a struggle artist, like, who don't want to pay for nothing, you know, because podcasts, they got a budget. A movie got a budget. Established artists, or should I say professional artists, have a budget. But most people in the genre that I tend to work in tend to not have a budget, and they always miss the key word. And I always ask the same thing: what's your budget? And it's always a trick question, because that's your prime time to say what you can't afford. As soon as you tell me I don't have a budget, I don't want to talk to you no more. I don't want to do nothing with you, because you pretty much telling me that you have not thought far enough to think about how I'm gonna compensate somebody to do work for me and to further my own project. That's just how I look at it.
It happens, but you know, I definitely consider you out of that amateur bracket. You are professional. You've been in those rooms. You've been in certain rooms.
Yeah, for sure.
So I can see you having enough empathy to not mind working with the more amateur artists. However, it's just being professional.
Right.
You know, it's walking into a meeting and calling your tag and stating what you need to negotiate and all of that. Just having a fluid conversation. And I think starting up, it makes sense. A lot of artists, you don't have a lot of money. You don't have a lot of backing. You don't have a lot of support. So you're out here just trying to get it. But you have to respect other people's time and energy and space and work ethic.
And you know what they never seem to think? They never seem to think, what am I giving back? Because anytime I take something pro bono from somebody, or I want to work with somebody and I don't have a budget I know that they are worth, I always think of what is it that I'm providing them. Now, when somebody come to me and say, I don't have a budget, meaning AKA I ain't trying to pay for nothing, do you stop and think to say, man, do I have a blue check next to my name? So when I release this, he gonna get recognition? No, you don't, fam. Your mama don't even jam your music, fam. So
Dang.
I'm not gonna get no exposure on that tip.
Dakota telling you how you feel.
So if I'm not gonna get paid, and I'm not gonna get paid in no clout, I'm not gonna get paid in anything, which clout does transition into coins. But
only for X amount of time.
Only for X amount of time.
There's an expiration dates behind that.
So for artists out there who don't have a budget, just always think and ask yourself, what makes it worth their while to give me something for free?
Question: how do you feel about exchanging services?
Oh man, that's the barter system.
Exchanging services
Kinky.
in a non-sexual way. Meaning, I'm gonna go out there with it. Let's just say, well, I am an artist, but let's say I am a startup artist. I don't have a budget, but I have other skill sets. Maybe I'm a gardener. Maybe I know how to construct and build some things. Maybe y'all are crazy. I forget I'm in the room with men. Man.
Yeah.
In a second, I'm gonna say pause. In a second, I'm gonna be real Dame Dash and be like pause on everything. No, but yeah, like, you know, let's say you're good with other things, non-sexual. Damn. However, yeah, like, what's your take on that? Maybe you need your kitchen redone or something. Maybe you need some furniture built.
I've done that before. Like,
your lawn looking nice.
I've worked with people before, like, who needed music, and like, let's say there were things that, like, before I got deep into like animation or certain, just really dependent on what it was. If I needed a service and we could always like talk out terms or like, I don't know, you need some music.
But you gotta have a service that somebody wants.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Absolutely.
If you saying that in exchange of services, man, I'm a put your name on it. Nobody listen to your music anyway, so that's not a good exchange of service for me. I rap to something. Well, I don't think you that good of a rapper, so I don't want you to. That don't benefit me. So, but if you gotta have a skill that somebody wants and that somebody values for it to be an exchange of service.
Quid pro quo.
Exactly. If you ain't got nothing I want, then there's really nothing else to talk about.
Absolutely.
But let's work on this budget again. So it's $100 within your budget. You know, we gonna go back to the B word, budget.
The B word.
Such a dirty word.
Such a dirty word.
Oh,
you said budget. You came to me and talked about finances.
Put your coat back on.
Right.
How dare you use those curse words.
I mean, and YouTube,
no swear words at me.
YouTube is so full of people who are just looking for like handouts. Oh my God, it's like, I mean, come on, like how do you think I do this without? Yeah, I can't just turn out work and then give out work for free. Like, who does that anywhere? But but like people are like, I got hoop dreams,
That's because the market on YouTube is so saturated. So it's already so many tons of other free work giveaway. But I would tell you right now, it doesn't matter how saturated something is. If something's saturated, that means it works. It's good. You should get in on it. However, it's all about the marketing. And that's how I combat it. Like, if it's somebody who don't have a budget, it's like a million other people who do music. So I'm just gonna move right past you. And then if that's something that I continue to see, I'm just not gonna work with nobody at that level. Okay. And I'm just gonna only work with somebody established. And at the end of the day, once again, movies, scores, audio for film, they always got a budget. So you really don't have to work with an artist as a producer to make money. It's a lot of people I know who have their music on replay on VH1 and get paid quarterly in royalties.
I think about that a lot. Before I ask that one question I think about that a lot. I'm like, it kind of just takes one track. Like, let me
get my one
let me get that one. Listen, I'm okay with that one.
I know how to
let me get that one thing in, and let me see it on TV and like commercials and ads and being used, and pay me. That's fine. Keep it coming in. I don't mind getting those checks. My question,
mailbox money is what this professor
those are lovely, right? Isn't it nice to come home and you check your mailbox, especially these days?
Every now and then I get
you have a postcard or something. You're like, oh my God, we're in the digital era. Who does exactly? You're not expecting it. So when you're getting checks in the mail, you like, yes, you're winning.
Direct deposit.
No, mailbox money comes in the mail. No, those royalty checks from mail don't direct deposit.
No, I'm just talking about direct deposit.
That's all. He ain't worried about a card in the mail.
You must have missed what he just. It must have.
No, I'm specifically talking about
the check.
21st century transactions.
Speaking of the 21st century, going back to what y'all were saying, Vince, you said something earlier about amateurs and people who are kind of trying to skate through networking and building up something substantial, right? They think it's kind of like a quick breeze where it's a sprint opposed to like a marathon. I have questions about that as we continue to move forward in a digital age, because I don't want to feel, but I have this feeling that on that tip that's going to continue to be the case. We're kind of forgetting work ethics and certain principles, like working hard, putting in maximizing those 12,000 hours, whatever, what have you. I think with the internet we're getting a little bit more lax about that. So I have concerns
unfortunately about it. I think a lot of people they expect instant gratification. They expect the payoff to be right there. They expect to be able to see it, and it should be should be readily accessible.
Exactly.
But no one wants to grind. They don't want to like right here, like what we do here, since I've been a part of this, man, we just been grinding. And like we've slowly been on the uptick. And it's like people who have been with us since the very beginning, and it's like they've seen that, they appreciate that, and they're along for the ride. There are people who've come along, they maybe stick around for a little bit. They don't want to be a part of the grind. They don't, and I think that goes into your work ethic. And I also think it's like, I see that now, like even some friends of mine who are kind of like, they just expect like handouts, or they expect things to just be there for them. And it's like, if you want it, you got to work for it, and I understand that. I mean, that's just pretty much how I was raised. So like, I don't expect anything to just be handed to me. If I want it, and if I want it bad enough, I got to go get it, So, so whenever I see people with that mindset of like, they're so quick to tap out. They want to, hitch their, cart to another wagon, whatever. However the saying goes. It's just, I don't think
I've heard that one.
It's, you hitch your cart to another wagon. I think something like that. Yeah. Hey guys,
I knew what it meant though.
Chill out, guys. I'm pretty smart, guys. I'm pretty smart, guys. All right. So, but I see that,
You are Vince.
and I'm just like, that's crazy, man. Intelligent. Like people like that, like that's always blown my mind. It's like, but I mean, it's just more room for me to work. So whatever, you know. I try not to get too down because I know a lot of people who are like that. I just don't let it distract me from doing what I got going on. You know.
Well,
drops Mike.
Right, basically that was it.
Yeah, that was a very insightful question. You know, because he definitely went in on that one.
Absolutely,
he felt it in his soul.
I felt that one. I can relate to that one on a personal level. You know,
and I'm sure someone is watching TV right now, or if you're on your iPad or phone, and be like, yeah, tap into that, talk about that more, because it's true. It's happening.
And to me, it really sucks because like I even think about like going back to undergrad.
Dakota.
You know, so it's like you have friends like you talk about like future plans or just business. Like, you know, we talk about things that we had ideas to do outside of college, and then we get to a certain point like, oh nah. Or like, you know, when you change course, you know, you grow or whatever, and people can't grow apart. But a lot of times, at least in my experience, what I've seen is like, you know, people just kind of like, you know, if it's not easy, I don't want to be a part of it.
Right. It's like people want to get in with something already, and we talk about this a lot, Vince, especially with like the people that we seen come on and fall off, and it's like a lot of times people don't see the big picture, and sometimes I feel like it's more than instant gratification. It's just like instantly want to be a part of something that's popping, or be a part of something that's going to give you the feeling like this is best for me to attach myself to
momentarily. Without really thinking about
when the best time to get in on something is when it's in the build-up phase.
I totally agree. I think we know that living in New York, like there's certain things that you just you should grasp just because of going through life and experiencing things. But I swear, like living in New York is a total resume in itself. Like that was my grad school, if you will.
Yeah.
And
man, graduate from the streets of the Bronx, man, and the streets of Brooklyn.
Shout out to all my Ricans,
man,
all my Boricua mamis.
Yeah, I missed that 2 train uptown, man.
Hey, uptown, baby. Uptown, baby.
Y'all having a conversation where only y'all two and Oscar understand.
That's all right.
No one else understands.
Man.
Someone else does.
Yeah, I just had a flashback.
I feel so alienated.
You just hate it.
It's all good.
It's all right.
One day we'll go.
I mean, I've been a couple of times.
Okay, but you ain't go with us.
It's different.
You ain't know the streets like us. We can show you.
He went as a Texan. He went as a visitor.
True. Yeah, I went as a visitor.
As a tourist.
I have an aunt who lives in Manhattan, so I went as a visitor, never as someone. Oh, I could make a home here.
Yeah.
I could shoot somebody on this corner.
Wow.
That's what y'all do, right?
His mind always goes only in the summertime.
That's what y'all do, right?
Only in the summertime.
Stomp somebody out in your Timbs.
In the Timbs. That's usually summertime action. In the winter, that kind of slows down. But in the summertime, it's hot on the block. Yeah.
I figured,
Stomp somebody down in the Timbs. Well.
That's a whole nother conversation, too.
You don't want to get Timberland up. That's a line. Famous line.
The style. How you wear them.
It's like that has become so synonymous with, like, New York culture.
Oh,
like,
it is.
It's so
Tim and the Yankee hat.
Like, yeah, like gotta have the Yankee fitted. It's like does everyone everywhere think that about New York? It's just, or is that just like kind of like?
I think most of my friends from New York, they'll definitely say that the Timbs is a staple because we always get into heated conversations. I'm gonna say it up front. I'm not a fan of Timbs. It's not that I'm a Texan. I'm just not a fan of the boots.
I definitely bought a pair while I was out there. I had to.
I got a pair.
Negative.
Mine is still in New York. I would never bring Timbs to Texas. What are you doing with a pair?
So I had a pair of Timbs when I was in elementary school. I don't know why I wanted some Timbs, but I did. Maybe because I knew I was the East Coast girl.
Sometimes you just jump on the hype train, Yeah. Like I had no reason to buy Timbs, but like I got some Timbs. Like, yo, just say I got some Timbs.
I was actually in the store
bucket list items. Hey, at least I bought them.
And I saw.
I may never take them out the box. No creases.
Yeah.
But I did it.
Timbs was such a staple. While I was out there, I had to get them. And I didn't have the heart to bring them with me to Texas, they just gonna stay in New York because where I'm aware, it doesn't get that cold here.
You're right. I left all my mink coats and all my heavy, all of that.
My
up
goose
there.
downs and all that.
Yeah, you don't need that here.
We don't.
You don't need that here, man.
You don't even really jump fly like that in Houston because, you know, I feel like you really jump fly when you start layering.
I agree. That's why fall and winter is fun for a lot of people. You're layering.
But even out here during our fall and winter, it's still like t-shirt weather.
I agree.
Like I'm overdressed right now.
I'm always overdressed now that I'm in Texas.
I'm definitely overdressed. A down vest and a button down.
Mm-hmm.
You about to pass out, ain't you? You about to faint.
Just might.
Reminds me of the episode of Everybody Hates Chris. I don't know if y'all know about that show.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he was trying to save money one summer to buy this leather jacket.
I remember that.
Caught it on sale and
he finally got it, but
trying
you know,
to impress the shawty walking down the street.
Yeah, I remember that episode. That was a good one.
I remember those days spending money to impress the shawty.
I've actually done that before though.
Ooh,
I've actually like, well, you know, like I bought something, like there was a coat that I wanted back in high school, and it was this dope. It's like it was a pea coat. Oh man, I thought it was.
Pea coats are fly.
It was dope because it was around that time in high school. I remember like a lot of rappers would wear pea coats. I was like, I gotta give me one. Yeah. So I gotta give me one. But by the time I actually got it, I think it was May. It was either May or June. And I remember like joking, like I would wear this outside because like I was able to get it till the summertime because it was on sale. And I was like, and I finally got it. And I remember I actually went outside one time in that Texas heat in a pea coat, and I said, man,
what was I thinking?
Was it blue?
I was fly though.
Was it blue?
No.
Okay.
It was dark gray.
Ooh.
Dark gray, had some brown buttons.
Oh well, then yeah, that was fly. I can see it.
I was cold.
It was like wool or something too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I had to.
I was cold, but I was sweating. You know. You couldn't tell me nothing. Like
your neck was open, so
absolutely.
it was getting that air. And it was hot.
I had a little, and then like
you were sweating.
Yeah, I get in the car, take it out. You know, I'm good. Turn on the air conditioner. As soon as I get out of the car, the coat's back on.
Go back on.
See, everybody hates Chris. See, it happened for a reason.
The things you do to like look fly and try and like flex on people is ridiculous, especially when it comes to like trying to impress like girls and stuff.
Oh man,
how do I think young men that are in middle school and high school carrying that action out? Because it's very different, you know. Growing up, we still had like phones, and you were like, I mean, there's so many things that are different.
I mean, I would think the only thing is straight DM action. I don't even think.
I want another.
Well, you know what? I got a little homie in college, and he stay FaceTiming me, and I'm like, why you want to look at me and talk so much? But I'm thinking that's probably what the middle schoolers and high schoolers doing now. They doing a lot of FaceTime, maybe.
But like, remember, like in middle school, right? Mm-hmm. During Valentine's Day, you could buy a carnation or something like that. Like really, you know, like writing notes and put it in someone's locker.
Yeah, you remember when you could order the choir to go to the class, your shorty class, and they'll sing. Yeah.
Hey, y'all had choirs singing?
Y'all had that charge?
Nah, we couldn't afford it.
We went to upper echelon school.
Shout out to Johnston Middle School.
Yup, and then
we couldn't afford it. We didn't have it in the budget.
We went to Lamar and Bel Air High School, so we definitely had those kind of.
We barely had lunch.
What high school you went to?
I went to Carver Magnet and Acres Home.
I don't know, Acres Home, and I'm here Magnet.
Acres Home.
Yeah, Northwest Side. Yeah.
Okay.
That must have been where the mayor went. Did he go to school there too?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think he did.
But from Acres.
Shout out to Carver. You made me who I am. But I hate y'all.
$5, Buster.
He made him a buster.
Buster.
But he a buster that put in a lot of work, so we appreciate.
Vince a good guy.
Sometimes.
I can't be.
Here we go again, ladies, with that hip hop male ego. They play back and forth. I'm telling you. It's like ping pong. They just bouncing the ball back and forth.
It wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be right if we didn't have back and forth banter. We we gonna have nothing to do. I keep him on his toes.
Okay.
What we doing?
See how on his toes he is? Okay. Well,
Vincent.
See, I got my hands. See, I got a mic now, so I can talk. But I got my hand signs going. You looking at me like I'm stupid. Like you don't. Like we ain't going through these hand signs a million times.
Like I don't know what the hand signs mean. I'm being one of our regular guests. I'm making you put in your work. Don't act like I don't know what to do behind it. Act like I never sat where you sat. And I don't talk about people like me.
Why are we acting like that?
He got his hand on the zip and he's wagging his finger at you.
Guys, we appreciate you joining us. Once again, I am the Dakota, but my legal is Dakota Sampson. And I'm here with my beautiful co-host, Cheeba Cruz.
Hey, thank you.
And we just want to say thank you for joining us on our first episode. We look to continue to build on this. I could be reached at my Instagram at I am the Dakota. And Cheeba?
Thank you so much, guys. This was a blast.
Where can we find
you? I'm getting there. I just want to say thank you. My name is Cheeba Cruz. Again, you can find me on Instagram at Cheeba Cruz. Cheeba like marijuana. That's what our parents used to say back then. So Cheeba, last name Cruz, like as in the cross in Spanish. And yeah.
Y'all should know how to spell that.
Hey, sometimes it's not like the car, C-R-U-I-S-C.
Right.
C-R-U-Z. Yeah.
And then on that note, we would also like to thank Vince for joining us too. We hooked up a mic for him. You know, he never gets to talk, so hopefully on this show, even if he's producing, we're going to give him a mic so he can still chime in from the shadows.
Yeah. Like the voice of God.
I'm strong, almighty voice.
Jesus Christ had dread, so shake him.
The biggest effect, sir.
And on that note, we appreciate y'all joining us. Until next Saturday, man. Stay in tune.
Nice.